Okay, I want to answer a question about epic projects. And I just started this epic project. I did it on the beach because it's easier, in my opinion, to look at beach buildings because they're just all together. And the question was, what do I mean when I say 2, 3, and 4 point buildings? There's also 1 point buildings. But what I mean is, when you do an epic building, you get tasks from either all or some of the specialty buildings you have in the specialization for that particular epic that you are doing. In this case, it's beach. And as you can see, almost all of these are 3-pointers. But for example, this one right here, the luxury cruise ship, that is a 4-pointer. Now, I do have a couple other 4-pointers, or at least one more 4-pointer, I can't remember. This one doesn't have a task assigned to it, nor does this one, but I believe one or maybe both of those are 4 points. At any rate, let's come down here and look at our services and specializations. And if we open up the beach specialization, we can look at more buildings. And for example, let's look at the Surfer Beach. You'll notice when you look at this, the area of impact for its boost is 3 by 12. And then underneath it, the boost is 10%. That's how much population you get. And then underneath that, the third one down there is epic points. And the epic points are how many points you get when you do a task. And let's just look at a couple of other ones here. The rowing center, that's 3 points. Let's come sideways here. The lifeguard tower, that's 2 epic points. The beachfront shopping mall, that's 2 points. The merman statue, that's 3. The carousel is only 1. The aquarium is 3, etc., etc. The lighthouse is 2 epic points. You can see how it goes there. So when I look at a building, I don't just look at it from a population boost point of view. I also take into account how many points it gives me if I want to do an epic building upgrade. Because as I understand it, and from my experience, these tasks range from 1 point to 4 points that you can gain depending on the building, but the difficulty of the task is not dependent on how many points you get. So for example, when you first start, let's look at this 4-pointer. When you first start, you need 1 concrete to get 4 points. Well, what do you need to get 3 points? You need a bun. Okay, well, the bun is actually more complicated to get than the concrete. So the point is, if your buildings are 1 or 2 point gain for when you do a task, it's going to take you longer to achieve the end result. And what is the end result? Well, when you're doing the epic project, there are 3 different values that you can attain. The first tier, which is bronze, gives you the turtle token. That requires 10 total points. The second one, which is the llama, the silver, that requires, I'm trying to think here now, 80 total points, I'm pretty sure. And the final tier, the gold or cheetah token, requires 160 total points, if I am not mistaken. And I'm sorry, I'm not 100% sure I'm right on those numbers, but I think they're right. I'm pretty sure it's 10 points for the bronze, and then 80, and then 160. But if I'm wrong, I apologize. But at any rate, as you can imagine, if you have more 4-point buildings, then that gives you more 4-point tasks, which allows you to get to, for example, if you want the cheetah token, 160 points faster and easier than if you have a lot of 1 and 2 point buildings. So early on, when you first start doing epic projects, you're probably going to have the low point buildings only giving you 1 or 2 for each task. And so you'll probably shoot for bronze or maybe the silver. And then as you get more and more 4 or 3 and 4 point buildings, then you will eventually find it much easier to get the gold tokens. So as you can see, I currently have too many gold tokens to be able to pick up these pieces and make an actual token out of them. So they're just sitting there. I can't collect them because I have over 5. Let's see how many I actually have. It's not a huge amount. I have 25 right now. And I have 5 of each of the silver and bronze. And I think I've already collected them all for today. No, as you can see, I can't pick up the bronze ones either because you can only pick up the individual pieces to make a token if you have less than 5 in your inventory. So anyway, that explains what I mean when I say 2, 3, 4 point buildings. You want to try to have higher point buildings to make the epic project easier for you. And this is why, for example, sorry, I'm talking a lot, which is what I do. The season is what I'm looking for. This is why when you do the season, getting that last building really matters, because the end building, to the best of my knowledge, it has always been and will always be a 4 point epic project building. So even if the boost isn't necessarily what you like, or the size of the building isn't necessarily what you like, or even the design or the specialization isn't something that you particularly care for, that 4 point value matters when you're doing an epic project. So that's why getting these buildings, even though a lot of people complain and they say, I don't have any land for them. Well, guess what? When you go to do an epic project, you pick up the stuff you don't want and you put down the highest point buildings you have to make your epic project as easy as you can make it for yourself. And then you do the epic project, and then you pick up whatever you don't want and put things back to the way you would like it. But that is what I mean. That answers the question, hopefully, in a clear and visual manner. What do I mean when I say 2, 3, 4 point buildings? Thank you for watching.